Good evening, listeners. It is currently 6:40 p.m. here in Toronto. My name is Alexandria, and welcome to episode 1 of what is going to be a video essay series dedicated to breaking barriers to academia. Currently, I believe that it is very hard to get access to academic journals. It is hard to find the time and resources to read through all of these things. So I'm hoping that with these bite-sized videos, I'm going to be able to open up these networks to other individuals looking to learn more about law, tech, and cybercrime. Throughout these, I'm going to be looking at academic journals and news articles, summarizing key points, and then hopefully that'll be able to open up our own understanding of what's going on in the world and how we can interpret things around us. As for who I am, I'm Alexandria. I'm a 26-year-old woman who is passionate about law and tech, and my responsibility here is hoping that I can pass some of that passion over to you too. So, as the first part of this series, I'm going to be delving into Advancements of Cybercrime Investigation and Digital Forensics. It's a 2024 publication featuring experts' insights on tackling cybercrime and digital forensics. Each chapter elaborates upon essential tactics, tools, and innovations for effective investigations in our digital world. Today, we're going to be looking at challenges to cybercrime reporting, investigation, and adjudication in India. This is a journal written by Vikram Singh, Varun Malik, and Ruchi Mittal. It's going to be focusing on current barriers and oversights existing within global cyber law communities, alongside cybersecurity challenges specific to India. So the authors here began noting how advancements in technology have led to corresponding rises in cybercrime rates. This creates a critical need for prosecutorial approaches, especially in the field of forensics. Law enforcement agencies everywhere are facing substantial challenges in both responding to and preventing cybercrime due to several unique factors. First, data itself is intangible. This makes it a new form of asset for both victims and law enforcement to understand. Second, cyber attacks, like hacking, don't follow traditional crime patterns, which can lead to limited comprehension of how they work. Next, virtual crime scenes often cross national borders, making prosecution complicated across various jurisdictions. After that, data assets, unlike physical ones, don't have to leave a victim's possession to be destructive. Copying or stealing information alone can cause significant harm, but makes it difficult to assess the full impact in established criminal possession. Last, processing power itself is now a tool for crime, making it necessary to evolve investigative approaches and judicial procedures. The chapter then delves into the field of cyber forensics, which involves locating and preserving digital assets that can be used as court-admissible evidence. In this field, evidence can be classified as active or passive. For example, files infected with ransomware or documents created during remote access attacks are active evidence, while browsing history or metadata showing GPS coordinates are considered passive evidence. This type of evidence is admissible in court if its origin can be confirmed, it's proven to be unaltered, and it can reliably link back to its user in question. During on-site investigations, experts first check for evidence that may be volatile and prioritize these. They then search devices with suspected criminal activity, ensuring that evidence is handled in line with legal standards. However, a full investigation is conducted if there is a risk of evidence being destroyed, if initial examinations show signs of suspicious activity, or the evidence is about to go to trial. In the next part of this journal, shifting focus to India, the chapter describes specific challenges the country faces, including the Informational Technology Act of 2001. This was updated in 2008, but it still leaves significant gaps, especially in privacy protection and encryption enforcement. India's cybersecurity landscape is currently plagued with a lack of public awareness, a shortage of human resources trained in cybercrime, and frequent state-sponsored cyber attacks. This is all very good grounds for a cybercriminal to attack. Law enforcement often lacks the necessary digital literacy, and cybersecurity agencies tend to respond reactively rather than proactively. Rapid changes in cyber technology leave defenders struggling to keep up, while budget constraints and underfunded research and development further complicate matters. Moving past specifically the Indian context, we're also looking at things like universal barriers to cybercrime investigations, such as anonymity. So anonymity includes the ease with which people can anonymize themselves online, making finding criminals and tracing them back very difficult. Attribution as well. So botnets, zombie machines, all these sorts of things allow individuals to commit crimes without the device owner's knowledge, making it hard to establish who is actually responsible. Traceback is also a difficult challenge to overcome. So although log files can trace actions back to an origin, the process is time-consuming. In some cases, ISPs may be compelled to reveal user information based on IP addresses, though compliance varies. And usually compliance varies per ISP or per jurisdictional requirement. We're also looking at things like evidence volatility. So digital evidence is gathered in order of volatility, starting with internal registers and cache memory, moving through routing tables, temporary internet files, disk media, and then finally archival media. Looking at deleted content, investigators must consider the potential for recovering deleted files if they haven't been already overwritten. However, if a deleted file has been overwritten, that file cannot be retrieved even if it has been deleted. Mobile number portability, changes in devices, SIM swaps, and number porting all add challenges for tracking suspects. India also faces complex jurisdictional challenges, particularly in determining where to try cybercrimes. The chapter outlines main jurisdictional issues for investigations. For instance, the victim's location, the server location, and the location where a service is hosted can all influence which laws apply. India's legal framework also allows for trying anyone, regardless of nationality, if an Indian resource like a computer or a bank is affected. However, extradition remains practically unheard of. For example, if I, a Canadian, infect an Indian computer with, let's say, ransomware, obviously that's a crime, and India can try to extradite me, but nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to be tried in India. Canada is not going to send me away to India. Canada's going to protect me, unfortunately. And then additionally, issues around jurisdictional limits and lack of updated international law, they also create safe havens for cyber criminals. Although India has legal provisions to try foreign nationals when Indian resources are impacted, extradition for cybercrime, as mentioned, is very rare. The chapter also addresses underreporting, noting that only half of Business Insider respondents in India reported crimes which were committed against them. However, crimes themselves, cybercrimes, are severely underreported beyond that, from lows ranging from 20% report rates to as low as 1%. This is largely due to language barriers, stigma, and legal loopholes in the Indian criminal justice system. Looking at the language barriers, the government of India did launch a cybersecurity website where users can report cybercrimes committed against them, categorized as either women and children or other. However, the portal itself is bilingual. The literacy rate in India is 74%, with only 44% of the population speaking Hindi and 12% speaking English. Already, this portal is flawed because there isn't enough versatility for Indian users to be able to report crimes against them. This reluctance is often due to language barriers, social stigma, and legal loopholes that hinder each process when we're looking at things like reporting as a review. Additional issues also arise with first responders and agency structures. First responders at cybercrime scenes face the challenge of identifying critical evidence quickly to ensure it remains usable in court. This requires identification of critical evidence, collection without modification, preservation to support a claim, examination to uncover findings, and last, detailed documentation to complete the investigation. Agency challenges are compounded by jurisdictional overlaps. India has 5 agencies responsible for handling cybercrime, but the overlap in responsibilities creates inefficiencies. The author suggests that adopting stronger public-private partnerships would improve government response capabilities. What this means is that the authors are suggesting that private sector companies, cybercrime companies naturally, would assist in the government in mitigating and proactively responding to cybercrimes before they happen, as well as helping governments to handle civilian error after a crime already occurs. Finally, the chapter concludes that cyber professionals and agencies currently approach cybercrime reactively rather than proactively, as we just said. The authors recommend adopting machine learning technologies, improving international cooperation, and developing a stronger global legal framework for investigating cybercrime, which includes standardized definitions and procedures for cybercrime cases. Well, that is about the end of this journal. I hope you learned a little bit from it. Thanks for joining me in this deep dive into the challenges of cybercrime reporting and investigations in India. I'll be back soon to discuss the next chapter and continue exploring the innovations shaping our understanding of digital forensics. Thank you.